I just realized the problem. Alright, calm down a little bit. Aw. The sound's not as clean as I thought it'd be, which is kind of a shame. Let's see if it's okay. It's better now. But yeah. Man, it's so weird listening to myself and a little bit of behind. uh, but I could check some, audio stuff. I mean, just as long as I don't touch the mic. I think it's very sensitive for some reason. Yeah, very strange. Let's lower just a bit. Let's try whatever that does. Almost ready? I think we're almost ready. All right. For some weird reason, it's not as clear as I want it to be, but I guess that's okay. And I can unplug myself a little bit from this thing. So yeah, this is gonna be one way for me to test what actually happened. As you can see, I don't stream very. Ooh, okay, it's gonna make a lot of noise, but yeah, I don't stream very often, and it's gonna be funny, look at myself back because I can see myself, and I can hear myself, and yeah, so. I hope you guys enjoy. I'm just gonna make sure everything is fine and all good. And yeah, we are ready to start. So hello world, welcome to my impromptu stream. It's not really, there's not really a big reason for the stream apart from the fact that I wanted to make a video about yesterday's, first look at Football Manager 21, and I thought, hey, let's do it. So I sat down, I listened to what they were saying, I took notes in the notebook here. There's some. There's some text. I promise it wasn't just for fun. There is text. Look, there's some stuff. I took notes, and yeah, and basically, I thought I was gonna do it, and then I kind of thought, well, wouldn't it be a better way to just stream? Because this way, I can actually, instead of just people looking at my face, I. To be fair, I don't think I'm at the stage where people tune in to look at my face. I know it's one day, but I thought it'd be better if I could actually play the game a little bit and have something to talk about. Then maybe we can have comparisons to this game and then the other game, Full Manager 21. As you know, this is not Full Manager 21, this is Full Manager 20 because the game's not came out, and as they repeatedly they kept saying to us, hey, we don't know when the beta is going to come out, yeah? There's not a specific time for it, there's not a specific date for it, there's nothing in set. They were just doing the one they do bug fixes on. So yeah, we're just gonna play around with this and talk about it. If people join in, if people want to chat, and if people want to, ask questions or like have a discussion, that's fine. But if not, this video will be available as video on demand. And if you want, you can tune in. This is probably going to be somewhere around an hour. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy. Yeah. So let's just get into it. So I took some notes, but we'll leave that for a little bit later. First of all, I guess I just kind of want to run a quick run through, from what I'm doing and for what is this, If you've seen some of my videos before, you would know that I kind of finished the series. So I have this video, coming out today, obviously. And I have a video made where I simulated 2 years and 5 years into the future. to see, what would happen if I did, retire, or if I did resign from the club. And this is my personal save. This is just like me playing off. And I thought, hey, why not, show, especially be good. You watch this first, and then you see how the other team did, how the team without me did. And yeah, if you take a look at this, we're currently sitting third, sitting nice, a good mix of good results and bad results. We still do bad against, the very good teams, but, the other teams we kind of smash, As you can see here, we lost to Bayern, we lost to Liverpool, we lost to United, with I was going to say Zebra, with Juventus. So those kind of results, for some reason, are quite normal for Bolton. It's very normal. We are always not the best team, but, we take the victories that we do take them. So when we have a chance, we don't slip up against the weaker teams, which is nice. But yeah, kind of a good, results here for us. And that leaves us third. We're not too far off the top, I think. Yeah, we're, just 6 points away. Liverpool is just Liverpool. Liverpool's just going to run away again. And as you can see here, they won it for the past 2 years. With Jurgen Klopp and a bunch of the players he's got, it's quite, crazy. But Javier Fernandez is one of the top scorers. He's scoring quite a lot of goals. He scored a hat-trick for us at some point. Let's just quickly run through that. It's, Jordan Ross is on the score sheets. Leo Sane is doing quite well, which is nice to see. A new signing coming in. And apart from that, it's not too bad. Minutes per goal, Javier Fernandez, one of the top ones. Let's see what I can tell you that's more interesting as well. In terms of assists, again, Leo Sane helping out Salim Ibrahim and Mauricio Bianchi. So that's kind of nice. A little bit of good stuff. What else can I tell you? In terms of conceded, we are conceding a little bit more than we should, but we're conceding roundabout, where we are in the league. So we're fourth with 8 goals conceded. Not too bad, to be honest. I think we've had quite a good amount of games. So 8 goals conceded in 7 appearances, actually. Maybe not as good. So he concedes a goal a game. But he had 2 clean sheets, which is kind of pretty not good. So, things like that happen. In terms of transfers, let's quickly just run into it. What is there for you to see? Well, nothing big, nothing major, nothing life-changing. I will talk about some of the signings. And here, again, I think I do mention in the video you'll see soon. Maybe I'm going to release it on Monday, I think. Yeah, Mikhail Yegorov. We signed him, the big signing. Daddy will... Balkvisha, Leroy Sané, and all sorts of stuff. And in terms of outs, I guess nothing huge apart from the Kenza Goodmidgen sale. 76 million. It's quite good money. Quite good money for him. Also good rid of Lucas Nunes and Mendoza and Butland. So we have a lot of money. We actually sold more people than we bought. That could be a limiting factor for us because we didn't really buy any big improvements to the team apart from Leroy Sané. Leroy Sané is the only guy that's here, and they can be like, right, this guy is going to improve our team. But, you're all here. You're not here for, all the Bolton stuff because I finished that series. It's just me having fun. And, I thought it would be a nicer way to, kind of show you this because, again, like I said, I don't want this to be a video of, 5 minutes. I mean, I say that. It could have been a 5-minute video, but I thought I didn't want to edit and I thought I had time to, make a random stream. And why not? Streams are fun. But yeah. So, I guess, what we can do, we can start playing. So, we're playing City today. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a short thing. I don't know how many games we're going to play, but I think once I cover pretty much all the points I want to cover, I think that'll be the end of it. If I don't want to make this too long, because if this is if you're watching this as a video on demand, I don't want you to sit there for an hour listening to me ramble. Because, again, not that interesting. I'm not that interesting of a person for you to be able to do that. But if I am, hey, leave a like and subscribe, I guess. Maybe something I could practice on, practice being funny, practice being interesting. It's a very hard task for a lot of people, including me. So, so yeah. But right, so this is the team we're going for. As always, you click quick pick. And yeah, so we got Farines, Bianchi, Zalewski. Is that something we really want to do today? We are having a lot of games and a lot of players are tired. So yeah, Zalewski, Ta, Braithwaite on the right, Godfrey and Hernandez, Henrique in the middle. Whew, haven't said those names in a while, so it's kind of hard to remember them. Brewster, Vera, Ibrahim, and Fernandez. And the very big thing that you will see, and I think it goes in perfectly to what was discussed yesterday in Sports Interactive Stream, was the fact that we will no longer see the numbers. which is very, very cool because it makes a lot of sense. This year, they actually went for, they went for realism. They went for realism. They wanted to make sure that, you know, the you're not like a manager. You're not playing a video game. They're trying to make, blur the lines as much as they can between video game and, real life. And so in real life, you don't have a thing and you don't go, oh, Harry Kane's on, 95% fitness. First of all, what the hell does that mean? No one's ever at 100% fitness. Something happens, little tweaks, little like, oh, I didn't sleep today, or someone had coffee, and what, does his fitness go up? So it's that kind of things. And so from what we gathered is basically you're now going to be able to actually, the little heart symbols. So the heart symbols will actually kind of show you roughly, what their condition is like. So good, bad, excellent. That makes sense. That makes more sense. It's more realistic because you can kind of tell by body language. If your player's, coming out and he's huffing already, you kind of think, he's tired. He needs to take a break. He needs to chill out, and I don't want to play him. And another thing, I think they're pushing it to the fore. Fatigue of players. I think it's very important actually, because a lot of times I kind of subconsciously do it. If I have like a lot of games, I kind of try and rotate players. And it does show a little bit. Here it has like high injury prone or something. But in in this one, it'll kind of, I think it'll be, I'm not sure actually. I didn't really understand that bit, but I'm pretty sure they're going to actually tell you a bit more about, they're going to bring it to the fore, your player's more fatigued. So yeah, that's kind of cool. And another big thing that I really, really like, and I think is cool, is the fact that this, Football Manager experience will be more realistic in the sense of, all your staff members are actually going to help you. Yeah, I know they help a little bit now, but they're going to help you in terms of like, mate, what the hell are you doing? And let's go and take a nice cross in. Fernandez pops in, and nothing good. It's horrible. Brewster, okay, it's a nice offside there. But they'll not be able to be like, what are you doing? You shouldn't play, Sane. Well, he's dead. Why are you doing, or something like this. Your analysts will be able to look at the players and be like, okay, this is happening. You need to like be careful for this. Or, your scouts will be able to tell you, look, you've signed five cams. Why are you signing more? So it's that kind of thing. It's that little interaction between you and your staff members. Whilst before is, they were providing you information, and I guess to an extent they're doing the same. But now it's going to be more like, maybe they don't judge you, but they'll be like, I don't think you're doing a good job, or I don't think you're correct. So it's not going to be like, it's less totalitarian and more not really democracy, because again, you make a decision in the end. And I made a decision to concede there. Diogo Nascimento. Maybe I should stop the stream right now. What do you guys think? I wonder how the quality is. The quality's not too bad. I'm looking at the screen. Yeah, it looks all right. But yeah, so like a bunch of other stuff like this. It's very interesting watching it. I don't like how Zalewski just let the guy run through. He's a big guy. What a touch and what a finish, actually. Wow, that was actually, world-class finish. But yeah, it's just that kind of things, it allows you to actually depend less on, just, first of all, your full-scale understanding of the game, if that makes sense. So if you're a new player, you can lean on that especially more. And we're getting absolutely smashed. At least you guys are getting some exciting goals, a lot of goals. And, FMU is going to be happy. His City team is destroying my Bolton team. Sigh. We're actually having a lot of possessions. They had 2 shots, 2 on target. It's FIFA all over again, isn't it? But yeah, so it's that kind of stuff. If you don't know how to play, if you don't know how to play this game, you shouldn't be discouraged. I think I've asked a few people about this game, and they're like, yep, it's very difficult to keep track of all the stuff here. There's a lot of stuff you need to consider. And yeah, I understand. For me, I don't remember the time where I went from, progressively being, I have no idea what's going on, to, okay, I can kind of understand. I think it's just something that happened after a few years of playing it. But even now, there's a lot of things you just do not understand. Horrible halftime. Let's shout to the players. Also, I'm wearing a nice little, I'm not sure how you call it, because it's kind of cold. And, the tee's not helping, the hoodie's not helping. But, I don't want to waste electricity and, put the heating on. Why not if I can cover myself? Huh? Smart. I can invest the money I save on FIFA packs, yeah? Oh, God. Please don't buy FIFA packs. If you're watching this for some reason and you play FIFA, please don't. Like, you don't get anything good, and you don't get anything out of it, first of all. And then, EA thinks, ooh, money's coming in, we don't need to try anything. So that's how we're stuck in the game, and that's why I think Football Manager is a better game, because they do depend on people liking it and a good, word of mouth. And yeah, there's a little bit of stuff in the shop, like you can buy the editor, but come on, that's not really, yeah, not really a big money maker. So they make money for making games, and I think for them this is why they try it. And a lot of people give them shit for, I think, unfair. Really, I think it's kind of unfair. RR, yeah, that looks offside to me. Not gonna lie. Okay, yeah, assistant, thank you. I think people give them a little bit too much shit. Like, they do a great job. They changed this game. They delayed this game, first of all, to make it better. And like he said in the stream, like Miles Jacobson said, this was not just because of COVID. This was mainly because he wanted to make as best of a game as he could. And to be fair, whenever it comes to those decisions, if you delay a game and make a better game, I say hell yeah. I do wonder, actually, if because my computer's been acting up and has been making a lot of sound. So let's just quickly jump into my own stream and listen to my own beautiful voice and see how loud it is. Yeah, sorry for taking a little pause here. No, it looks fine to me, sounds fine to me, so it's very nice that my microphone is not picking up those sounds. If it is, please tell me. But yeah, there's not many people watching this, but again, I'm hoping this is like a bit of a more impromptu and an easier way for me to record and edit. I just thought instead of making a video, I could make a stream. But if you do think this is better as a video, and I think I should have said that at the start, please tell me, because I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time. I do not really enjoy streaming. Streaming is a lot of time spent, and I think it's something. I think it's hard work. I think it's really hard work. And when people say, "Oh, you're just playing video games," yeah, you're playing video games, but you also have to find the time. You have to find things to say. You have to just not be boring. And it's like, come on, I can't not be boring. I'm losing 2-0 against City. So, but yeah, so like again, those kind of things. I need to go on. I have a whole thing here, and I'm still talking about FIFA. What is this? How is this happening? Man, you guys are gonna be watching a 3-hour video at this rate, aren't you? But yeah, it was one of those days. We are utterly shit. Well, sorry, utterly bad. But yeah, let's just jump into it. So, some more things. You can now, instead of using, assertive, passionate, and whatever, you have 30 gestures that you can use. So, how we made jokes about like throwing water bottles, shouting at people, like punching them in the face. That's not going to be a thing, by the way. But you have all these gestures like open arms and stuff, like pump fists sort of thing. That'll be there. You'll be able to use that, and you'll be able to supplement what you're saying with that body language. And from what he said was, it's people said, hey, well, what's the point of this? What's the point of gestures? Aren't they just going to replace, the tones of voice? Not really, because you have 30 gestures, first of all, and they're going to be a little bit, those gestures are going to be obviously in relation to what you're saying, in relation to what happened. You're not going to pump fists if I don't know a good example. Like if they ask you, how's the injury going, you're not gonna go, it's going great. That's gonna be stupid. So it's gonna be kind of realistic. If something bad happens, you will have the option to throw a bottle. If nothing bad happens, oh, hello, old lady place, nice to meet you. But yeah, it's just those kind of things, I think. Thanks for coming to the stream. 30 wasn't it? Didn't he say 30 gestures? Am I going insane? Man, I don't like the lag on this. Let's just take a look. Man, if I'm gonna be called out on the things I was listening, I'm not a good listener, am I? Oh. And this is why, I haven't done uni for, since February, really. So I'm really bad at taking notes. Okay. Okay, yeah. So I think they said there's going to be 30 different varieties of gestures, and they're going to have maybe 6 or 7 per interaction. So if there's going to be like, yeah, like for team talks, you will have different combinations and permutations of them, I guess. So yeah, so that's something there. Um, but yeah, so how come you didn't see it? You don't do Twitch? Let's just kind of go through it as well. I think I put the lag a little bit too much, but at least the connection is hopefully better. Спасибо за просмотр, кстати. Очень приятно. Вы до сих пор понимаете по-русски? Или только читать? Sorry, that was just a little test. Old lady plays here. Speaks so many languages, and I think we talked a while back, and I think she said that there were languages, and trying to get back into Russian. So I'm just giving a little test here. But I guess what are the things? Well, first of all, another big thing that was really nice is how they aesthetically changed a lot of things. First of all, one of the big things that's really, really pretty is when you pick your team sheet, it looks exactly like a team sheet. So those team sheets you get when you're, it's actually getting quite hot here. When you're, buying a matchday program, and at the back it looks super pretty. Yeah, so it's gonna look like that. I don't have a Russian keyboard handy, but yes. Oh, nice. That's okay. That's okay. To be fair, it's nice that man, it's always crazy to me when people that are not Russian come up to me and they say, "Oh, I speak Russian." I'm like, "What? How? Like, it's hard for me to learn. How do you guys learn?" It's unbelievable, really. Oh, it's just crazy. It's such a cool thing. I think this is why I'm trying to learn the languages as well, because I do like to, when I go to places, speak their language. And even if I'm crap at it, even a few phrases, it's just nice. People kind of treat you differently, and they appreciate the fact that you actually try. But yeah, as always, I said this was going to be a shorter stream, and I get out of hand. Maybe it's going to be 6-7 hour stream, and I don't want it to be that. But yeah, so the team sheet looks awesome. The UI is changed. It's all beautiful. It's all purple now, and it looks so pretty that I don't really want to use skins, and I feel bad because there's some beautiful skins. And if you can see here, this is the original skin from Football Manager. But it looks so pretty. There's something for me, and this is also another reason why I love the shirts, and I really want the shirts that you get from hopefully winning weekly stuff from FMFC, because that's cool, man. I like. There's something about purple that, like, first of all, that kind of purple. There's just something cool about it. I'm not sure. What else can I talk to you about? Yeah, so I mentioned no more percentage of fitness, which is quite nice. Oh yeah, so I think another big thing is when you go here, hey, Ignite, you finally scored, and you go on, that's the wrong place where I went to. Come on, tactics. And when you go here and you go, I want to click, in from striker, in from forward. What does that do? Well, inside forward. Woo! And you read all this, and apparently the feedback was that people don't understand what this means. And it's fair enough. It's a lot of text, and I don't think I've actually played it. A lot of it I really depend on, my previous knowledge. But this year, you will have a nice little box here that shows you exactly what the player does. So you can read it for more detail, but if you want just a quick glance, you go, oh, what does a Mizella do? I have no idea. So let's actually go look together. And modern interpretation of Mizella, center drifts wide to operate in half spaces. What does that mean? What's a half space? What's drifting wide? What's a central half winger who likes to defending further up the field? What does that mean for me as a manager? And if you don't want to go and do your own coaching badges, you will be able to see it now, kind of more in detail. So it's kind of nice. It's a good, cool thing. But yeah, man, the amount of stuff they do, and it actually took them a lot of work, so they had to source it out, which is very, very, it's fair enough. It's a lot of coding. It's crazy. I can't imagine doing stuff like this. I can't imagine coding. Coding just boggles my mind. But we played City. We're going to play San Sebastian now. And I wonder, we might just do a few games today. It's going to be a short one, like I promised. I'm covering, I think, we didn't even cover half, so it's fine. I'll take a little penna. I need to actually tick because it's a lot of black writing, and I don't know what I've covered and what I didn't cover. Oh, another big thing. Actually, perfect because, man, as you can see, this is why I didn't want to make a video because I don't do too well with planning. And if you noticed anything with my series, you know how I jump from saying I'm going to play a team and then I'm going to play, I either show up earlier or later, you will know. So it's things like this. But you know what kind of made me think of it is, first of all, apparently, and I'm not sure to what extent really, because they didn't say to what extent, and you can't really say until you've tried it, but they said the game is more optimized now. So that means the game will load quicker. So what happened was during the stream, people were like, "Hey, your game kind of loads very quickly now. Do you have one league simulated?" And they were taking Watford, so people thought, "Hey, maybe they have the Skybit Championship only." But no, apparently they've done a little bit of a better job, and they had a reasonable. Oh, they said reasonable amount. I don't know what that means, but if we are to trust them on their word, which to be fair, why not? Why would they lie? You know, they're very, from what I've gathered, they seem to be really, you know, cool guys that actually care about the community. They don't really, you know, I haven't noticed them do, you know, fake promises. They're not, you know, a lot of other video game companies that promise you, you know, greatness and, you know, don't deliver. But they said it's more optimized, so it's more quicker. So hopefully, you know, that's something we need to look for, and maybe we can actually see it. It'll be very nice to see something like this. No, it'll be very nice to see just the extent of how quick the game is. I don't know. But yeah, so it's been 27 minutes already. Just a nice little check on how we're doing. See, the loading times, man, the loading times are awesome. The loading times are actually awesome. They're huge here. So that's another thing we ticked off. Oh, by the way, and I don't know to what extent you are going to notice this. And I'm pretty sure it'd be a stupid lie for one that not gonna. Yeah, exactly. People will be able to, you know, find it within the first day. They'll be able to find it and be like, "Hang on, what the hell? You promised it's taking quicker, but it's actually much longer." So yeah, it's yeah. So, but we'll see to what extent. You know, quicker. What does it mean? Does it mean 5%, 50%? You know, 3 times quicker. You know, but still, quicker is quicker, and especially with, you know, my PC. It used to be good once, but not so much anymore. You know, I'm kind of struggling a little bit. I am having a lot of unnecessary leagues added, like the random, you know, Argentinian leagues and stuff like this. But, you know, I'm trying to go for more in depth. So I want to see as many players. And I think that's the problem for me. And I think that's why my computer is not happy. Righty-ho. So the thing I was actually talking to you about was the fact that a lot of us, well, from what I think and from the people I've talked to, a lot of people actually play this game with no fan sound. And you know why. You know, you know the first time you start Football Manager, you're ready to play it, and you forgot to untick the sounds. And then you get this very loud sound suddenly playing. Yeah, so that's gonna be there as well. That's fine, that's not a problem. But what I was talking to you about, the reason why I don't think you'll notice it, because a lot of us turn it off. And what I saw during the stream was when Watford was stringing a few passes together, like maybe a good, you know, 10, 20, 30 passes, the fans reacted like the real fans would react in the real game, and they do like little hey, you know, like little cheers when their passes are getting string along. So it's kind of cool. It's again more realism, but it's a shame because I can imagine, again, this is someone spending his time working on this, and you don't listen to it because you don't have the sound. And I felt bad about it, but especially if you're doing YouTube, I think it's hard to have the sounds on because, you know, you need to be able to tweak it, and it's gonna be hard to tweak it perfectly. Maybe, you know, when it starts, I will kind of try and mess around with it a little bit and see, maybe I can do it that way. Ooh, in terms of perfectness here, perfect timing, let's go to the press match conference and I will talk to you about the difference. So as you can see, it will not be like this anymore. You remember they showed you an image where there's a bunch of people showing up here and they ask you questions. And here at the bottom you have answers. So you have, from what I saw, there was positive, negative, and neutral. And occasionally, depending on the question or depending on the answer, you could pick a special gesture to go with it. So that was something cool. However, the thing that I actually wanted to mention, you're no longer alone here. So you're going to be sitting with your press officer. So that's one. You're going to be sitting with your press officer. And he's going to be telling you, you know, from what they said. Again, we didn't see much of it. But the guy is going to sit with you, first of all, and help you like you would in real life. So if someone asks a question and he thinks, "Ooh, this could damage the club or this could damage the board," he'd be like nudge, nudge. Yeah, the sound. Sorry, I just saw that the sounds get repetitive. Yeah, but I think now maybe they'll have more different variety of sounds. So that could be cool. That would be very, very cool. Yeah, as you can see, I'm really bad at streaming because I get distracted for a second. I just jump off to a different thing. But in continuation, so yeah, so the analyst will now tell you, or the press officer will tell you what questions to answer, what questions to avoid, what questions to expand on, because it's a good story maybe for the club. So that's kind of cool. And also they will tell you, okay, you've answered enough questions, you can go now, sort of thing. And then you know how the only way to do this, to leave this, is storm out. That's the way. But now they've added leave conference, which is which is pretty much similar to storm out without the extra you know the extra anger, I guess. So yeah, I'm actually not reading this. The whole team wants to bounce back with a win. We do. There's pressure. Blah 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 blah. And yeah, so maybe when I'm doing this, I'll be actually for the first few times showing actually how the press conferences work. It'll be kind of cool. Yeah, true. That is the problem when you play so many hours, because I'm pretty sure a lot of us are hundreds, if not almost thousands of hours of playing this game a year. So yeah, I can see how the sounds just get repetitive. But yeah, I think maybe one day we'll reach a point, but then it'll be like AI simulation, and I'm not sure even. I'm not sure. But yeah, to be fair, I think maybe I may actually try in the first few games or few months before I get tired, just to show it off, just to first of all see for myself, what is this actually, the sound stuff. Because before, all I just heard was just like, the dull, not the dull fan noise, but like just the when when the fans are making a noise and just like ooh, like a little ring there. Because I think that's the last thing I remember from it. And they kind of, I guess, cheer when you score. But now it's going to be cooler. And maybe for the first few months, it'll be a nice thing until it's eventually shut off. But yeah, I do see your point, how if you play it for 1,000 hours, you just kind of go, yay, they're excited, we scored, woohoo, who cares, right? So yeah, so that's a thing. And also, what you saw in the background of the press conferences, again, this is me jumping from side to side, is, first of all, again, the press officer, he tells you when it's time to go, and also gives you a nice little summary of how you did. So, how some players reacted, how, I guess the certain journalists reacted, what they thought of you, were they happy with how you said, and they were like, okay, this was a positive, negative one. So that's kind of cool. Another big thing with press conferences, and I love the fact that they change it, but again, it's one of those things, again, for me personally, I like doing press conferences, and it's kind of a nice thing, especially, but they're trying to push it for more realism, because now as a football manager, you have to do press conferences. Yeah, so you have to do press conferences now. Like in the football manager, you finish the game, and then you're, as a manager, you can't just go home or like go to your players. No, you go pretty much straight to the to the to the press conference, and they ask you all the rubbish questions some journalists ask. So now, apart from the fact that you go to the press conference first, and then you kind of come out to it, and then you're shown the match summary, because they said, again, it's more realistic. And another big thing from the press conferences is the fact that you will also be able to see your press conference room upgrade when you go through the season. So now you're no longer, doing your press conferences in the shed, because you started at, like, let's say, a level 10 pyramid team, so very low down. They don't have any facilities. I mean, I don't know if they actually do press conferences there, but you get what I mean. So now the more you go up, the more your environment kind of improves. So that includes things like the office that, you sit in. So if you're, if you guys saw, what's it called? All or Nothing, Forest Green offered Jamil Matt a job as a manager. Oh no, I may lose Matt, but I like him. Man, he's been a good servant. I think it's time for me to let him go. I can find a decent assistant manager. But yeah, so, and you saw Mourinho's office. He has a really cool office, and he has a nice, flat screen TV. So now, if you start at a lower level, you will not have that, first of all. But when you get to the Premier League and you're winning the Champions League with I don't know, with Barnet, let's say, you will be able to, you have the finances to actually have a better office. And it applies to the office, the press conferences, and I think the stadium 3D model will actually look different as well. And I think the underground tunnels will look better. So that's kind of cool. It's more realistic. You don't want to. It makes no sense you're a Champions League team and you have crap facilities, unless you somehow manage to work it in and you're from Gibraltar. The because I've seen what's his name, Work the Space, do something like this, and basically he had a barely professional team playing in a round in the Champions League, and then yeah, I can imagine you having shit facilities there. So that's kind of cool. I do like the fact that things actually improve. That's a very big thing. Things actually improve with time and finances to your facilities, and you can actually see it. You actually see the improvements. No longer, it doesn't just say, your corporate facilities or your training facilities went from okay to good to average to or whatever. It's gonna actually, you go, oh, it went from okay to good, and you'll be able to see like a very nice something. So that's kind of nice. There's a bit more stuff to cover, but I'm almost done. Another big thing now, pre-window meetings you have, and this is something a lot of players have said that when they do signings, they go into the transfer window, and they've signed a lot of free transfers. Let's say a lot of free transfers in January, and then they keep signing, wonder kids, whatever, and then basically all of them arrive. They all arrive, and it turns out you have 16 cams or 16 strikers. And you're like, crap. And then imagine if it's worse if you have a foreigner limit, like in some leagues. What do? You can only play five. You can only play 5 foreigners at a time, but you signed 8. So what do you do now? You have to sell them. No, you can't. They just joined. So you have to send them on loan. So now pre-window meetings will actually allow you to meet with the board members, to meet with your scouts, and then be like, look, you have Bob, John, and Pedro coming into your team, yeah? So they play this position. This implies that you will now need to sign players in this position because you don't have a wingback. You only have one wingback. Instead of your sentiment position is good, and I guess you can always choose to ignore it. You can always choose to ignore it. That's the cool thing. That's the cool thing with Full Manager. You can choose to ignore everything. It's not going to be good, but if you think you're smarter and if you think you need the cam, because then you can rework him as a goalkeeper, and you're for sure certain, that's up to you. But they're here to help you, so that's kind of a good thing. Again, it's just a little thing that I think some players I've heard they take things in notebooks, they write it down, so they kind of they have to write it down and keep track outside the game. So the developers thought that it's cool if you can have it inside the game, and again, that's amazing. That's thinking about players. I mean, I play FIFA too much, and every time a developer comes up with something player centric to help the player without asking for donate £10 to have pre-window meetings, it shocks me. I'm just like, wait, you actually care about players? Like, what is this? I don't understand. You're not trying to sell me FIFA packs, or you're not trying to sell me Football Manager packs? No, I don't get it. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, they talk to you about board expectations. So if the board expects you to sign only players above 30, and that was a good chance we almost conceded there. Yeah, if they would say, oh, you need to sign players above 30 and you only sign, youth players, they'll be like, hey, boy, come on, sign some players, please. Or the other way, they could be just like, why are you signing old farts, from random leagues? Please, you need to rebuild your squad, and we don't need to watch that. There's nothing there. So that's kind of cool. And yeah, so they do mention again where you're lacking, where you need to improve, where you have a lot of depth. Maybe certain players that could be let go. That'd be kind of nice as well. Oh, in game, obviously, when they submit the team, you can also see the formation. So you see you're playing 4-4-2, and they're playing, let's say, 3-5-2. But that's all you know. You don't know anything else apart from that. You don't know, if the two center mids in the middle are both, deep line playmakers, or if they're both ball-winning midfielders. And Raskazov, wait, let's just see him cut in. Mendy, Ross, Rulli, what a save. That was a good save. But yeah, so now you'll be able to see after some time your analyst, and I do think it comes with the level of skill he has. Your analyst, if you have a crap one, he'll do a bad job. But basically, after a few minutes, so maybe like, I say a few minutes, like a few minutes real time, so maybe 20, 30 minutes in game, he will actually be able to say exactly roles and positions of your position. So he'll be able to say, right, they're playing 3-5-2. The wingbacks are actually playing inverted fullbacks. They have three liberos at the back, two pressing forwards. I don't know, two cams, two whatever. So you'll be able to do that, and what you do with that information is totally up to you. Like you said, the way I play it, a lot of the times I don't really play off the opposition. I kind of try and make my way, and occasionally, you do change it, and that's what wins you games. Is that little, think, oh, hang on, like they're playing down the middle. How about I strengthen down the middle? That sort of thing. And to be fair, I probably need that because I have zero possession whatsoever. So with that in mind, actually, I'll bring the tempo a little bit higher. Actually, much more higher. If we're not getting possession anyways, we might as well press out. Maybe that's a stupid way to think about it, but yeah, let's play more direct. Why not? We have quick players. Spillane is not doing too hotly. And yeah, so again, it brings back to the thing where your staff is useful. Your staff skill is useful. You can have a really bad analyst and he won't be able to tell you, be like, oh, your, let's go, your fullback is doing a lot of, I don't know, your fullback is doing a lot of, I don't even know what to say. I was going to say some American football stuff, but I couldn't think of it. But like, this is the kind of stuff that, helps managers in real life. So they said they went to chat with football managers in real life and said, how do things work between you and your staff? And they obviously described them, they told them, and from what they gathered from that information is the fact that it's actually more of a team effort now. So it's not just the manager deciding everything. There's a little bit of a team effort. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much all I wanted to cover. There was a little bit of points. Some of the points are quite interesting. I'm excited for more streams from them. To be fair, I will not be surprised, and this is just me speculating. I will not be surprised if the demo comes out next week, because it is coming up to 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from 24th is 10th, which is, if I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken, but if I can open my calendar, it's Tuesday. So again, rumor has it that it might come out on the 10th. Again, I'm just speculating. If you want my opinion, and I guess that's a good opinion, Salam Ibrahim scoring, which is nice for the young Qatari. Oh man, it was good that we spotted him playing in the Qatar national team. It was kind of nice all the ages ago. Who would have thought he would be such an important player for us? Always on the verge of the first team, no matter when we got promoted. And he's actually starting to pop up a little bit. And if you take a look at the video that I'm going to be releasing on Monday about how Bolton does without me for 2 and 5 years after I resign, he becomes a more important player for the team, which is kind of cool. Hopefully, I can play a little bit of Football Manager on my own as well to see how far I can take it, and hopefully, on Twitter I'll be posting if I win the Champions League ever or not. But yeah, things like this. But from my own personal view, I'm really excited for Football Manager. I think they have done a great job. I'm really grateful that they took their time to improve it, to polish it, because there's nothing worse than you come out with a really, really, really buggy game. There's nothing worse than that. But I think they're getting rid of the bugs, they're cleaning up the game, they're optimizing everything, and there's more and more features. So I think when we start this game, I think it'll be a big, I guess, for new players, I think it'll be easier to start because a lot of the roles, and ooh, Daddy scoring his second goal, good job. And this is what, I guess, an inspired substitution and an inspired, tweak. Like I said, I don't know if it, the logic actually worked from, we don't have any possession to let's kick it long then, so we have even less possession. But hey, it worked in this, in this end. And if you're watching, I think it's something I picked up from Demand More FM. He did a video on 5 tips to improve, and he did say things like this. So if you're watching the game, you're seeing things happen, you need to use a bit of your head, and then okay, you can tweak it. So the example he gave was He was pressing PSG high, and they got countered by Mbappe all the time. They were 4-0 down. So what he did was he dropped his back, defense a little bit, so Mbappe didn't have time to run on, and he got back to 4-3. He lost, but it's still a pretty cool thing. And if he did it earlier, maybe he could have won. But yeah, Football Manager 2021 is awesome. I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are excited for it as well. Yeah, so I guess I don't know if there's nothing else to mention. I guess I'll finish this game, and if anyone's watching and if you guys have any comments or questions, just ask. But I think I'll be rounding up quite soon, and that's a good way to round up. We lost against City 2-0. Very annoying, very frustrating. But now we're doing better against Real San Sebastian. And Daddy's here helping out a little bit, and this is why, maybe I should actually switch to playing more direct, because it's just stubbornness from my own end to play short passing. I just want to play that. But if we have very fast players, we don't need really to have possession football, do we? We could just kick it a little bit longer and make them run. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, old lady plays. Excited for the game as well. Oh man, I'm so excited. I think it's got to be next week, surely. I think it's got to be next week. It would have been nicer if they released it 3 weeks ahead like last time. But again, with COVID and with big changes to the game, I'm not going to be surprised. I do wonder how it's actually going to, impact it. Hello, Unseasoned. Nice to meet you. Do you play Football Manager much? Football Manager, man. It's such a weird game, actually. I've actually done some stuff for on my Instagram page where I asked, I guess, people that follow me and mostly my friends, if first of all, if they play Football Manager, and if not, why, and if not, what will it take for them to do it. And from what I've noticed, first of all, not many people in my immediate circle of friends play this game, and for the exact reason that I mentioned, is the fact that we're kind of used to it, so we don't notice it. But Football Manager, and my friend actually has a perfect way of describing it, which is kind of funny, and I do kind of agree with it. He calls it spreadsheet simulator, or economic simulator. You just sit there. There's a lot of numbers. You have to sort it. You have to make sense of them. But that's the beauty of it. I think when you first load the game, you're very confused. You're just like, what is this? What is this game? Why is there so many numbers? What does this number mean? What is this? What is this attribute? What is, FIFA? That's what's good about FIFA in terms of how it appeals to a wider audience. And I think it's just because there's less niche stuff. There's less niche stuff, really. So you just sit there, you go, look, Messi is 93 rated. And the highest rate is 99. Messi is 93. That's good, right? Yeah, that's it. That's all you need to know. But here, you go, right, Igor Vera, if he ever loads. Look at him. That looks good. A lot of his stats are green. Look at this. Dribbling, 17. That means it's good. Passing, 16. I assume that means it's good. Technique, 20. I assume that means it's amazing. And again, that's if you know that 20 is the maximum. For all you know, he's just very crap, and if it's out of 100 or out of 99, it's crap. But, again, you look at him and you go, he's an amazing player. Then you go, right, so what does the stats mean? So you go in here and you just pick a random player, say Son Johansson. And you look at this and you go, well, this guy, his attribute box is inside this guy's attribute box. So he's good, right? So he's less good than this guy. Now that makes sense. But a lot of the times, this depends on this, depends on the form, depends on, the skills, depends on, what's happening in this guy's life, depends on, the dynamics, how you playing him. And the thing I do not understand, for me personally, is this guy, he's not been doing too good for me. And if you look at the history, he's been doing okay. 7.06, 7.14. That's all right. It's not huge. But the stats of this guy are incredible. But apparently, I can't do anything with him. That's something that I guess does not appeal to the average person. But with the new one, with the new Football Manager 21, a lot of the analysis stuff will be shown to you in a nice graph, in a nice format. yeah, so hopefully you'll be able to use that and be like, hi, now I know what kind of like, what it means. So if they say you're not scoring too many, or your expected goal output is 5 and you're scoring 1, that means your players cannot finish. So at least train finishing or get players better finishing. So yeah, like I said, I think this is just now crossing into an hour 51 minutes. I think that's it, because I'm gonna make this into, I'm gonna try and not, maybe not edit it. I'm just gonna use the Facebook feature. The Facebook feature? What am I on about? The YouTube feature. And just, trim it a little bit on both ends. And that way I can actually make this in video on demand. So if you want to join in, watch it on your own time, pause it, continue it, you can. I don't want to do this for 2 or 3 hours. I think it's a bit of a, it's too much. Besides, I don't really like streaming. I don't like streaming for too long. Like, I've been speaking for 50 minutes. I had tea right now, and my mouth is super dry. So that's the thing. That's kind of things that you have to think about. You need to have your own kettle here and just sit there pouring it all the time. And, hey, if you're good at streaming, I appreciate you. I've tried to stream during COVID. Yeah, I guess the first lockdown, and it was difficult. It was difficult. It was hard. It was almost impossible for me. But, if this is something you like, and it's important for you to like it, it's really important. Like, I really enjoy YouTube, but I really enjoy YouTube from a sense of, actually, it's fun making videos, because for me it's very fun to talk to myself, really. I don't know what that says about me. I might as well just continue. Yeah, I don't know what that says about me, but I also, the most important and most favorite thing I do is, then you take this video and then you edit it. I think that's the thing I like the most. It's not a hassle for me, but I try to extrapolate. I'm like, okay, I like talking, I like discussing, I like interacting with people. Let me try streaming. And I cannot stream for longer than an hour. I get so tired. So if you're someone that wants to do streaming, you have to love it. You have to work for it. And if that's not what you want to do, if you don't want to get, I don't know, that's not what you want to do, you shouldn't do it. There's not worth it. And that's why I kind of decided to stop it. And the reason why this is here is just because I wanted to talk and discuss and mention some of the stuff, and I didn't think a video format would be perfect for it. But yeah, another final thing I want to leave you with is what they said in Football Manager 21. Things link in a bit more than now. So basically, you can't just skip. Well, you can, but you shouldn't just skip press conferences. So now press conferences are going to be very important in the sense of whatever you say will have an impact at some point down the line. So if you tell your player to bugger off, this could make him hate you. And maybe 2020, a few games down the line, when you're having bad results and he's not performing, you could be like like Conte out of the job, or it could be like Jose Mourinho, where Diego Costa and Hazard stopped playing. But yeah, perfect timing. Thanks for showing up, Old Lady Plays. I was gonna finish it anyways. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope there was some updates, and yeah, I think it's a perfect time for me to end as well. Just be excited. Hopefully Full Manager comes out on next week. And yeah, I guess it's a good time for me to end. So thank you for watching. Thank you for all that showed up. Thank you, Old Lady Plays, for showing up, leaving comments. It's very nice. I like interacting with people, like I said. And yeah, thanks for everyone that's watching. It's okay if you don't want to write anything. Again, not a problem. You don't need to. You can just be a ninja. But again, I would appreciate if you are finding me now. Go check out my previous videos. I did a lot of stuff covering Football Manager. I do a lot of Football Manager stuff. So yeah, go check out my channel, like, subscribe, leave comments, talk to me. I'd like to think I'm I'd like to think I'm friendly. I'd like to think I'm not a scary person. So don't be afraid to. But anyways, thank you for watching. Check out my previous videos, and I guess I will see you guys whenever there's more updates. And also, actually, in an hour, go check out my video. I'm going to be doing a little bit of save ideas, So hopefully you can watch that if you're looking for safe ideas for actually beginners and intermediate players. That's important. I think we are quite often overlook, the beginners and intermediate players for Full Manager, because a lot of the times we're just like, yeah, so what you should do is just sign youth players, but youth players from the city, and you can't have a wage budget of over, £10 or something. That would be like, pfft. But it's going to be simple. There's some simple teams, some basic teams you could get started, and once you're more comfortable, you can get into it. Anyways, I cannot end this video already. I am very bad. But yeah, thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, check out my videos, and I guess I'll see you guys in an hour with my video. Bye, guys.